Okay, Trent Pearman, why not? I mean, I'm asking y'all, why not? At least give him a shot. I didn't say make him the starter tomorrow to play against Georgia in Atlanta, which, by the way, that looks pretty doggone grim. Why not give this guy, at least work him in? That's what we're going to chat about today. I did the video yesterday talking about Trent Pearman and his performance in the spring game. He played by the same touch football rules as did the other two guys who has more, well, especially Cade has more experience than him. He was missing the same wide receivers that they were missing. He was playing it against both defenses because he played up for both sides. My memory serves me correct. And it's just a spring game, but the past two spring games has shown us a lot about the coming season. You can't get away from that. You stick your fingers in your ears. You can call me an idiot. You can tell me that I don't have pus for brains. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. The past 2 years has proven to be a precursor to the season that would start in only 5 months. Do you realize that? Clemson plays in less than 5 months. So they're going to have a break. Then they're going to have summer practice. And then boom. It's Georgia time. Welcome to Clemson Football Live. I'm glad you're here. I'm Brian. If you like what I'm doing, even if you hate what I'm doing, I hope that you'll subscribe. It is free. I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who's been commenting. It's good to see you, Cohen Popes, in here live this morning. Roger Bryant. It's good to see you, sir. You keep telling it. I'll keep listening. Thanks, Roger Bryant. Now, there's a lot of issues that's going on at Clemson. And a lot of people could come back to me and say, Brian, Dabo fired Brandon Streeter, replaced him with Riley Leonard. That's the quarterback at Duke that's now at Notre Dame. I wish we had Riley Leonard. We don't. But he replaced him with Garrett Riley. Right after he got blown out 65-7 in the national championship to the team we're going to be playing in less than 5 months. He hired him. And then he hired Matt Luke. So, Brian, you need to put on your happy britches and smile like you're medicated. Maybe you're not a real fan. Well, we're still paying for the sins of yesteryears. Have you ever met someone who gained an outrageous amount of weight? And then their doctor sits down and basically reads them their rights. You're about to stroke out. Maybe you have diabetes. You're about to have diabetes. You know, you have a blockage, blah, 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 blah. And then, but you can't go out and take one of these dangerous diet pills that's going to give you cancer in 5 minutes. It's going to whack out your system. No, you have to do it the right way. And it takes time. All right? You've made the decision to do the right thing, but you're still dealing with the issue of yesteryears. Another example that maybe would be valid here is if you're a homeowner, if you've ever rented, whatever, if you have a leak in your house, you better fix that leak fast, because the longer and longer that you allow that leak to continue to go, guess what happens? It goes from a $100 problem to a $1,000 problem to a $20,000 problem. Why? Because the longer water seeps throughout the house, there's structural damage. That's what's happened at Clemson. We've recruited in 3 straight 4-star plus quarterbacks. And it's not looking good. And to say this again, because I have received some feedback. Hey, Brian, Cade only threw 1 ball into double coverage. You're overreacting. You must have not paid attention to the game. Maybe you're not counting the other one that he threw into triple coverage. They all played by the same rules of touch football. They did. So how is it that some walk-on from local Daniel High School could play by those rules better than the two guys that are way more highly rated than he is? Now, again, I have not said that we should replace Cade with Trent Pearman. I'm at the 5-minute and 30-second mark. I am telling you. I'm not saying that. And that would be unfair to do that to him against Georgia, of all people. But not work him in? I mean, if Dabo loves the walk-on story, the 12 disciples of Clemson football, and during the Dabo Swinney reign, Hunter Renfro's right up there. If you had a Last Supper painting of Clemson football, Hunter Renfro's sitting at that table. Now, it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't. We know that. Georgia, what went on with Stetson Bennett? Like a unicorn getting attacked by a shark, all while winning the lottery. It doesn't happen that often, okay? But Trent Pearman, why not? Why not give him some snaps? Why not put him out there? Maybe not against Georgia. Maybe. I'm telling you, if Cade continues to go through the progressions like he is going through, and he doesn't look comfortable, Georgia is... Look, I don't like Georgia either. I don't like Georgia. That doesn't matter what you and I like. And we sit over here like we're giving birth to a baby, straining hope. I believe. Ugh. All you're going to get is hemorrhoids and a butt whipping by Georgia. The defense is going to come out and play great. Maffa is going to have to run the ball 30 times. That might be the game plan. Run Maffa 30, 40 times and see how Georgia responds. Now, if Georgia can't stop it, and then you're hitting out of a few quick passes to Brennan Stoll, very safe passes, maybe take a shot downfield here and there just to try to keep them honest, tell Cade, look, throw the ball out of bounds. If you see 3 guys in red back there, don't throw it near them. Red means stop. Okay. I'm trying to convey to you that it's not looking good. It is not looking good. This is a spring practice. And another comment, I just want to address it. I understand the point that was made, that Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence had some poor spring practices. Has Cade ever played to the level of Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence? The proper answer is absolutely not. No offense, Cade. I've taken it for you, and I'll still take care of you. I think you're a victim of the system. I really do. I still think that we're spending more time singing Kumbaya in Clemson, South Carolina, and bragging on ourselves of how many players we're graduating with sociology and criminology degrees than we are worrying about making sure that the players who wants to go to the NFL actually somehow make it there. That's what I believe. Bronner, you mean to tell me you'd rather have rapists playing on the football team? That's what we do in Clemson. We do in Clemson. If you criticize that, you mean you rather have a bunch of inmates on the field. Never said that. Why do you go to that extreme? I mean, why? We know where that comes from. I know where it comes from. Maybe you don't. I can tell you where it originated all the time. Excuse me, or where it originates most of the time. We know where that thought process comes from. The thought process was originally you have to be a really good person who is good at who's taken their degree seriously and a good football player. And when that doesn't work out for Clemson, except the defense. The defense is stellar. Clemson has basically two teams on it right now. You have this really excellent defense, and then you have this offense that's just like, You have a problem. Why not Trent Pearman, folks? Why not work him in? For the umpteenth time, I didn't say replace Cade with Trent Pearman. I'm asking you, why not replace, or not replace, give him a shot. Work him in. You play Appalachian State in the second game of the year. Work him in there. What are you afraid of? He might throw the ball into double coverage. That's happening now. Are you afraid he's going to mess up the good Clemson offense that hasn't existed in 5 years? Are you talking about that he's going to mess up the scheme that only the talent of Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, T. Higgins, Amari Rodgers, they covered up the poor scheming in those last years that they were at Clemson, especially the last year? To this very day, people are still in denial of what happened Trevor's last season. They forgot it. He was so talented, he covered up how poor the scheme was. Because you don't have to try hard with those guys. Until you play someone who's a really good coach with really good talent, then you have a problem, because then coaching matters. And I've tried to convey this idea as clearly as I possibly can, and it's just like I'm going, nah, 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 nah. This is a glorified scrimmage in front of Death Valley. The kid came out and dominated it. Brian, the sky's not falling. Normally, I would agree with you. Last year, spring game told us a lot. The year before that, DJ throwing the ball in places you're like, where was he throwing to? The proper answer for some of you who are so stubborn. I've had to admit that I'm wrong on here before. I've even left up a few videos where I was wrong about some big subjects. Left them up. Only time I take down a video is if I feel like I was too rough on a specific individual. Or if I say something that I feel like I shouldn't have said. Like from a moral compass. But in this scenario, I'm telling you, you're stubborn. Clemson's offense has... Okay. As I'm closing this down, I have comments in here. I have it turned off just so I can pay attention. Hope you subscribe. It's free. But Clemson's offense is still suffering from years of poor position coaching. You don't fix that overnight. It's reaction. These guys have been drilled through several drills to perform a certain way. It's reaction. No matter how talented they are. You have to be careful what you put in action and what you continuously repeat. Why? It becomes a habit. And that's exactly what's happened. That's what's happened. That's why Matt Luke, I've told you, Matt Luke has his work cut out for him. If he doesn't come out and burn up the woods this year, I'm not worried about Matt Luke. I will tell you who I am, and I'm going to talk about this later on. This is a different video. I'm worried about Garrett Riley. I really am. But I'm going to leave that there. Give the man some time. What? To continue running these same plays? Who's developing the quarterbacks, folks? Who is developing the quarterbacks? Who? I want to know. I don't care if we do have a quarterbacks coach. Who is developing the quarterbacks? Because it's not sinking in. It's not. Why not Trent Pearman? Why? Why not? He's not going to mess up our precious offense. I'm going to the comments section in here. Got Still Gamble in here. Still Gamble is a member of Clemson Football Live. I like Boyd, but it's obvious he's just there for moral support. Is Tosh Boyd the quarterback coach? I thought so, but I didn't want to speak before knowing. Thanks for supporting it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. And I'm being very careful how I say this. There are some people who are coaching at Clemson right now who are nice people. They are nice people. They are not bad people. They might have been a great player at Clemson. They might have done solid in the NFL, but they should not be a coach at Clemson. My great-grandmother was wonderful to me. I miss her every day. She passed away in 2006. That woman doesn't need to be coaching at Clemson. Did you hear that? I love her. She's gone. She's with the Lord right now, and I miss her. And if I could bring her back, I wouldn't, by the way, because she's in a way better place than me. I'd be selfish, but if I could bring her back and someone say, "Hey, you want your great-grandmother to be a coach at Clemson?" No, Lord, no. Why? Because she's not qualified. I love my son. He's 8 years old. Don't want him to be a coach at Clemson right now. Maybe one day he would grow up to be a qualified coach. What I'm trying to say is that just because people are nice and because they love Clemson or because they played at Clemson does not mean they need to be coaching at Clemson. He's good for morale. Hire Zig Ziglar, if he's still alive, to come in and give a good speech to the team, or John Maxwell to come in and give a good speech, or whatever tickles your fancy to come in and give a good motivational speech. But these boys/guys deserve good, solid, challenging, play challenging, mind challenging, fundamental building coaching. Go through here a few more. Dabo, Big Red. Dabo is the issue, but the national titles are his saving grace. Look, here's the thing about Sweeney. Sweeney did great things. And then Sweeney, I believe, just felt like, hey, man, I've got this culture here that I can just plug and play with people who believe in it. And it didn't work. He's still paying for that. Andrew Roof. Consistent talent that can compete with UGA has me believing we can beat UGA. But recent development has me less than confident it will end up happening. Well said. Clemson does not have a talent issue. They have a coaching issue. For the umpteenth thousandth time, folks, this is a coaching issue. I'll end, but the reality is what it is. Jonathan Benton. Dabo, for good or ill, seems to treat the QB position different. All jobs up for grabs, but that one really seems to be treated differently. You're right. You're right. Deshaun Watson should have started from day one. If they were not going to scheme for Cole Stout, they should have started him from day one. Because that actually made Cole Stout look bad. He received unneeded criticism because they would not scheme for his abilities. The scheme they were running was for the guy sitting on the bench, not Cole Stout. So everybody lost there. The feel-good story isn't what's best for the program. Cade will be fine. I don't see him being elite, but with Maffa back and Jake Givens straight downfield, that will give him an option to move the ball downfield without playing hero ball. Maybe so. Maybe so, but I'm telling you, if Cade plays anything like he's played in the past against Georgia, folks, I don't want y'all to be, and this is not towards you, Dylan, this is towards anybody. I don't want any of you to be shocked. I don't want us to lose to Georgia. I'm just making that clear. I don't want us to lose to Georgia, but I also haven't wanted a lot of things in life to happen, and it still happened. This is not good. Got a bunch of statements in here. David Wood, number 6, could have had 4 interceptions from Cade. Just keep going. At the end of the day, it is a spring game. We'll find out everything we need to know in 5 months. Still gamble? I'm afraid we are. I'm afraid we will. Folks, you take care of yourself. Leave your comments below. Trent Pearman, why should we not give him some snaps? Why shouldn't we? I mean, again, I said this like 4 times already. We're not messing up some elite offense. I want to know your comments. Hey, if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, there's a button below here, a join button. Unless you're on an iPhone, you won't see it. It's $3, $5 per month. Parker Henderson said, man, I don't even notice it coming out of my bank account. One quick, I just saw this. David Wood, Grayson McCall looked great at NC State. Yeah, the guy from Coastal Carolina who did so great that I said that I wanted him at Clemson, but we wouldn't go get him. And I'm not a transfer portal advocate for Clemson. That's not the problem at Clemson. The problem is player development. But if there's one player that Clemson could have went and got, Grayson McCall was the man. And I've said that over and over. I've watched him play in person. Grayson McCall, if he stays healthy, is going to be a pain in the butt of the ACC. Unless his team falls apart around him. This guy right here is going to be a pain in everybody's butt because he's that good. We'll make it. We might lose our mind, but we'll make it. As always, go Tigers.